So Stuart, there's a lot of interesting little place names, village cricket team names in Guile Spin, and I sense that they are made up. I don't think that if I look on Google Maps, I'm going to find them, am I?
No.
And that must have been fun to make those up. What was the process of making those names?
Well, what I did was that rather actually than sort of give any relationship to a cricket club that was existing, what I decided to do was to decide what kind of function I wanted that match to have and where they were going and what the terrain was like.
Right.
In one match, they go up to some high ground where it all drains away, and that's dry. So I knew I'd start with the word dry in it, and then it's just a matter of looking round and finding something that I could use, and sort of languishing and cricket ideas came, and so the word dry Langford made it Dry Langford.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. So it's so lovely that you didn't just choose a random name. The name described the ground.
That's right. Yes, that's right. And sorry, that's my clock twittering away. One of these bird clocks.
That's quite charming as well.
And another name was it was a match where it was very uneven ground. It was really basically a farmer's field that's being turned over, and they could never really get the wicket right. And that was called Plowton, of course. Yes,
I love it. I really love when people can drill into the details like that, the creative process. That is fantastic to hear that. Also, I think you designed your own cover. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
So let me just show the cover there on the screen.
That's it. Yes.
Yes.
Leg spin grip for the right hand. That is the leg spin grip for the right hand.
This one here is the legs. Yes.
Leg spin grip for the right hand.
And this is.
What we did was just photoshopped it, spun it through 90 degrees, and we had the grip for the left hand.
So is the person ambidextrous? Is that what you're telling us?
Yes, that's right.
Fantastic. You see, there's a story behind every little detail.
Yes, that's right.
That's great. And yeah, the last time I picked up a cricket ball, I think I was undertaking a trial at school.
Right.
I don't think I would have picked it up expertly. I think I would have just treated it like a ball. And I just say I wasn't picked for any bowling side of the team or anything like that. I was awful. But I mean, how many different, just out of interest, how many different types of grip are there on the cricket ball for different?
Well, it all depends who you ask. Bowlers can talk about they have 12 different grips, but some of them, I think, are actually just trying to kid you that they've got a different grip and the ball is going to do something different.
So there's psychology in that balance between the batsman and the bowler as well, isn't there? Now the knee trembling moment when you're going to face the amnesia quiz.
Oh, right.
This is where we basically think a lot of authors forget their own work, and I have a feeling you might do okay because you seem quite clued up. But I'm going to ask you these questions. The high score at the moment is 10 in a minute correct answers. CL Spillard's top of the leaderboard. Who does Claire bowl out in chapter 11 to the amazement of everybody?
Oh gosh, I think that's either oh gosh.
So I stumped you, but that's a bit of a pun, really.
Simon or Luke. It's Simon or Luke.
You've got to have one answer, I'm afraid, sir.
I'm going to have Simon.
I'm afraid it's Luke. What kind of car does Claire crash in chapter 3?
Oh, it's a little Fiesta car.
Correct. Name the competition that Moxham Sports Centre has, the other sports facility. We need the full name.
The competition of the the Scoving Cricket Club, but it's Appleton Water Resource Centre is where the main stuff takes place.
It's Appleton Water Sports Resource Centre.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to give you a half a point because, my goodness, was that a minute? I'm going to give you a bonus question because I think these questions are quite long. Name the cakes that Jeremy and Claire eat.
Oh, that cream cakes.
Marmaduke's coffee bar in chapter 4.
The pavlova is one, and a gatto. This will be the Black Forest gatto.
Did I read a different book? I thought they had apple donuts.
And apple donuts. Okay, yes. There's also those as well. They had apple donuts.
You see, I'm at your bet. I'm not sure what the answer is now. I'm going to have to give you a half for that. So I'm afraid you're not going to challenge for the 10 because you've actually got 2. Sorry. I think the questions may have been really poorly written, so I'm going to give that score to me, not you. But okay, so that's just a bit of fun. So if we can get back to the serious Stuart Larner now. I happen to know that you're also known for writing poetry.
Yes, that's right, yes.
You've been doing that most of your life as well, haven't you?
Yes, yes.
So you wrote a particularly nice series of sonnets called The Car.
Yes, yes.
And I believe that each sonnet was about a different component of the engine. Is that right?
That's right, yes, yes.
What a fantastic concept for writing a series of poems.
Yes.
And when did you, how long ago was that? When did you write that?
In 1992. And it was published in a magazine called Envoy. So 28 sonnets. And they go through the whole process of buying a car and then all the components within the car, not just the engine, but also the brakes and the exhaust and everything.
What a lovely idea for us. I mean, I really am bowled away. Oh, excuse me, that's another pun there. But
yeah,
that is what a marvellous idea. I'm interested, though, in the difference between writing a sonnet, mindset you have to be in for that, what you're aiming for, and writing a novel like this cricket novel of yours. Did you have to draw on very different skills, or was something in common?
Well, you go into a different kind of mindset, I suppose. With poetry, I feel as though that suddenly comes upon me. It's just an emotional impact, and you're carried away with a word or an image. And then you try to work on it and think about what it means and where it takes you. Whereas writing prose, you get an image and an idea, and you see the whole thing in one go, really. And you know where you're going to go. And you just plot it out and write it as colourfully, as dramatically as you can.
Do you find yourself sometimes writing poetically and you have to stop yourself?
Yeah. No. I think writing poetically is okay. It's just that you're more in the driving seat, I think, of when you're writing fiction, or I am. With poetry, it's sort of writing me, in a way.
Ah, I see. I come to think of it, in this book, there are. I don't know whether we would say this is writing poetically, but what I'm trying to get at is that there's a lot of similes. It's sort of quite complex, unusual similes that you use in the book.
Yes.
I haven't got any that I've underlined. I should really have brought out a couple of examples.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain, but basically that is quite a noticeable part of your style, I think. And
yes.
Another noticeable part of your style, for me, is that you're very careful with your description of location. I find
yes.
you really are interested in the details of where people are, so that perhaps the reader can really sit themselves in that scene
Yes.
Which is very nice as well. That's quite important, isn't it, the setting?
It is, yes. I suppose it's due to my sort of use of field positions and fielding,
Yes.
to get people exactly in one position and not an inch to the left or right, otherwise they'd miss it.
That's just bedding subconsciously into your writing, I guess.
Yes.
But you don't always just write on your own, do you? You do collaborate.
Yes.
With your partner, is that right?
Yes, my wife Rosie Larner. We've written a book together as a writing nom de plume called Rosie Stuart. It's right. Stewart. We've written a book called Hope, which is 12, about over a dozen short stories about stories in the women's refuge. And it's really like, I suppose it's a detective story in a way, in the sense that each about a different character in the refuge, a woman in the refuge, and the kind of life they've had and what brought them to the refuge and how they get better and how they deal with the situation they're in.
So I'm interested again, there's a difference between writing prose and fiction. There's probably a difference between writing alone and writing in collaboration.
Yes.
How do you make it work?
Well, what we do is we meet together and we plan what we're going to write. We both have ideas, bring that together in one session where we think about what we're going to do for that chapter, what various chapters there are, what would work, and then we talk about what that chapter is going to look like. And we then, each of us, go away and write our own version of chapter, or parts of it anyway.
Yeah.
I might not write all of it, but I might like the bits that interest me of the story.
Yeah.
We meet and then we try to put it together.
I see. So you go and do your specialist interests.
Yeah, that's right.
Is there any difficulty in getting the style to flow?
No, you have to keep on editing it over and over again to make sure it's from the one voice.
The main topic here. I mean, where can people find Guiland's Spin easiest? Where can they buy it?
Easiest from Amazon Marketplace, or from Feeder Read, which is the publisher of the print copy.
It'll be very easy to pick up for anybody who's
yes, that's right.
For it. I think we're going to come to an end there.
Yes, yeah.
We've delved into all sorts of very interesting areas. Thank you so much for bearing with my silly quiz and all the other. And
I'm glad you got two, not -2, not me.
It was my fault.